Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Wednesday, February 2nd, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Joining me today, Fashion Dolls, we have a 6-time world champion power lifter turned actor born in South Bronx, New York. I'm super excited for this interview. It's been highly anticipated this week. Tomorrow, we have some more amazing guests throughout the week and Saturday. So, without further ado, let me share this live and get our guest on here, Fashion Dolls, with sexy powerlifting champ and actor Diezel Ramos. Let me share this live with him and get him in here. I hope you guys are all doing awesome, Fashion Dolls. Hi, Chrissy. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And if you guys are wondering, today's makeup was a homage to Janet Jackson because we all know that Janet loved her soft glam. So, y'all know, shout outs to my makeup artist, Melanie Nalibye Bridges, for making sure that we're right. Let me go ahead and share this with Diezel so that we can get right into this interview. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. We're going to get right into it. Tomorrow, joining us, we have actress Michelle Shea. She's going to be joining us. And then Friday, we have actress and dancer Jay Allison. She's going to be joining us as well, too. And without further ado, let's welcome my very special guest, Mr. Diezel Ramos, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, V Brown Actor. Make sure you guys go and follow V Brown Actor Singer. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Diezel Ramos. All right, so before we get into this interview, tell us, how's 2022 been for you thus far? How's the year been for you thus far? Because we know we've been through 2021, our ups and downs, and it seems like the trials and tribulations are still going on in 2022. So how's this year been for you thus far? Anything
It's
you manifested came true?
nothing. Everything's been good so far. I've been cast in, like, I say, 4 or 5 different projects. I just got cast for another one yesterday. I just got a business partner for my production company as well. So far, so good. Put it that way.
Congrats, all of that. And that ties into something that we always talk about on my platform, and that is manifestation. So, okay, we're going to start way
You
back
want to
when
start?
in
How
South
far? How far back you want to go? Because I could go all the way back if you want. So
South Bronx, New York, 1977.
okay, well,
To Italian and Puerto Rican and African American parents. I have
that's
family in
awesome.
New York as
That's
well.
pretty cool that you know that about me. That's awesome. Thank you for that. But yeah, I was born in the South Bronx. My mom was with my father, he's Puerto Rican and black. So when he found out that my mom was pregnant with me, he left. So I never met my father. My mother raised me on her own. So going through a rough childhood, I have to be transparent because I'm not ashamed of what happened to me. When I was growing up, I was molested when I was 8 till I was 10 by my mother's then husband's brother. Then I was homeless at 11. Then I was in the streets and I joined the Atlantic Kings when I was 13. I committed a crime that I regret to this day. They sentenced me to 9 years in prison. I did 5 years in, 4 years parole. When I got out of prison, I moved to South Jersey, all the way to Ocean City, New Jersey, which is a very edge of the coast in South Jersey. That's where I met my baby's mother. But during all that time, I had epilepsy since I was 14 years old, and it got worse. So I was no longer allowed to work because I was an insurance liability for any job that hired me. So I became permanently disabled. So my girlfriend, which is Kim, my baby's mother, said to me, instead of staying home and getting fat, why don't you take your butt to the gym instead of just, doing nothing with your life? So then I started to go to the gym. As I'm going to the gym, being 19, I didn't know nothing I was doing or whatever. So a mentor, which is my mentor till today, he came up and approached me. He said, "You're a pretty young dude. you're a big dude for being so young. Why don't you let me train you? And within the next 3 or 4 years, I promise you'll be a world champion. So me coming from the Bronx, I already got an attitude. So I'm like, okay, just do it out of nowhere, whatever. So I said, all right. I took his advice, and 3 years later, I started lifting in '96. '99, I won my first world title in Atlanta. Go figure. So then it just propelled me to keep powerlifting. I won, I say, 67 national titles, 6 world titles, a gold medal in the Pan American Games against Brazil. So that's how that started. And then I had a daughter when I was 20. Her name is Brianna, my only child. And she's my inspiration to keep pushing forward and doing what I'm doing and all the success that I have in my life at the moment. So, yeah.
And that's how it should be. Family should always be motivation. And
Yeah.
again, I'm sorry these things happen to you. I've never known.
Yeah, but
So
you know
my
what?
heart.
They made me the strong and person that I am today. To be honest, I know it's a journey that I had to take. God, everybody has their journey and path in life. You know what I'm saying? So I was meant to go through that and to become who I am today. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? What I went through, because if I didn't, I don't know what path I would have been on this day. So I take it in stride. I always bring a positive out of a negative.
Absolutely. From tragedy comes triumph.
Yes,
And that's
so,
how I look at things too. So I spoke about it on the show yesterday. You said, you've done time and things, and I've mentioned things I've done in my past that I'm not proud of.
right.
Um, just me, I've been battling demons, so I've been open and transparent with that, to let people know that, we all make mistakes. We're all human at the end of the day. The thing is to come back and to redeem yourself the right way. And I feel like I have, I'm a work in progress. I'm only 28, a young woman.
Wow,
So,
congrats. Wow,
coming
you
into
don't
my own.
seem very, very mature and very elegant for your age. Thank you. And mature too. So, you know what I mean? Very. So I would have never get. I would have thought a little bit older, not much, but because the way you articulate and present yourself is more mature than the average, 28-year-old female. So
I get that from a lot of people. A lot of people, they're just like, wow, you're 28. You don't seem like it. It's because I've been through so much. There's a phase back when I first started, I was very immature. And I said this yesterday on the show. I was kind of cocky,
right,
being young in your teenage years, it kind of teaches you for your adulthood. And now that I realize that I'm pushing 30, I'm like, okay, the things that I did when I was probably like 23, 19, I can't do anymore.
right.
It's not worth it. So I said, I want to change for the better and continue to make change. And so that's what I've been battling with, my own little personal demons of things that I've done in the past that I'm not too proud of. So I definitely can relate to you there.
But the funny part, what you say is, you say you battle on demons, right? The devil doesn't like success. So he's always going to throw a monkey wrench in the process of you trying to become successful, no matter what it is. So all you got to do is bust through that obstacle and just keep on pushing forward and let them know, you're not going to stop me because I'm better than this. You know what I mean? I tell all my people that as an inspiration, like there's always a obstacle in our way, whether it's a bump or a crack or a pothole in the road. As long as you get yourself out of that pothole, keep going forward. Because a lot of people stay in the pothole or stay messing around with that crack in the road, and they hinder their progress, hinder themselves from becoming successful. As long as you get yourself up, keep pushing forward, nothing's going to stop you, and it's going to make you the most unstoppable, the most unstoppable force on this planet, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%. Now, speaking of overcoming obstacles, you was casted as your first role as a principal, and you also was a hitman in a film as well too. Oh my goodness! And your love for acting has just progressed and progressed,
Yes.
and now you've landed so many great roles for Marvel Studios and DC Entertainment. Dark Knight Rises, of Steel, Suicide Squad, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, Kingsman, The Secret Service, and the 20th century production of Fantastic Four. I could go on and on and on. So, what was it like? Fast forward coming through out of this, overcoming everything that you came from, to now being on set for DC Entertainment and the likes of Marvel, which we know Black Panther and Catwoman, all of these,
Well,
Batman,
yeah.
all of these fall up under this
Well,
umbrella.
well,
So
for me, it still was a like after I stopped powerlifting, right, in 2008, right. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So my mentor, he told me, you always wanted to be an actor, so why don't you start? So I started as an extra, and I had those two roles that you mentioned at the very beginning. Those were my very first speaking lines. I had to go years, I think 2 or 3 years after that without a speaking line. Then I got my first supporting role. But it took a while. But then in the process of all that, I tried to move to Orlando. I got homeless in Orlando, had to come back to Jersey. Then I got here, something happened bad here, and I got homeless again. So I had to build myself up twice to the point where after, I think, 2014, it's been smooth sailing ever since. Ever since I got my manager, hired my manager, it's been smooth sailing. So the productions that were in, like G.I. Joe Retaliation, I met The Rock, The Equalizer, I met Denzel, um, Guardians of the Galaxy, I met Samuel Jackson. I could keep going on and on. The people that gave me good advice was Sam, Denzel. Denzel said he'll never forget my name. Charles Dutton, he said he'll never forget my name because he's never met somebody named Diezel before. And it was just like they said that you have a look, right, and they can't tell who you are, being though you are Puerto Rican, Italian, and black all mixed. You can play so many different roles. Plus, you're a big dude. You know what I mean? So you tatted up. You like wearing do-rags. You're light skinned. You have green eyes that change color. Go figure. They keep saying, make sure you wear your do-rag. You eat that up. Don't let them take that away from you. So if that's your niche, you hold on to that niche. But then there's certain rules that I can't wear it, obviously. You know what I mean? But the advice that they gave me and the help that they want to give me, I turned down the help. You know why I turned down their help? Because it's easy to say you got to the position you wanted to get to with help. But if you did it on your own, that's even more greater and more rewarding. You know what I mean? Because anybody can get help from these actors. If you know them that well, they wanted to get you a role in a heartbeat. When you tell them no, they respect you even more than you are. Okay, what role can you get me? You see what I'm saying? So I'm more respected in that manner than than actually getting help. You know what I mean? I get more advice. I take more advice from them than I do help.
you've carved your own path, and there's nothing wrong with saying no. There's power in no, and then there's power in yes. I was watching TED Talks just the other day, and his name is Dennis. I think Dennis Leary. He was talking about, when you get 1,000 no's, there's always going to be someone that is going to sell you. Yes, he was telling a story about he was trying to do a business pitch in a boardroom for a meeting, and they turned it down. He said, you keep going, you keep persevering. So whatever people give you out here, you take those nuggets along the way.
Yes.
And another thing I want to commend you for as well is you are very passionate about helping those in need, helping the homeless. You give them care packages and meals. This is stuff that people need during these times because so many people have lost, people just need hope. People have lost family members. People have lost, siblings, so many things throughout this whole pandemic from 2021 to 2022 and then forth on and so on. My question for you is, how do you define hope and what keeps you grounded? Because I know it's difficult. You have a daughter and it's difficult with being away on set and having to balance it out. I gotta go. I can't wait till I get to sit down with Diezel. Be cool. Yes. Shout out to Tony.
I keep running because I know this is the thing. See, people take this. You know how there's a whole bunch of actors, in Hollywood right now that you never want to work with. Like I tell you from the jump, I'm not even. And I'll mention their names because I'm afraid. Christian Bale, Jennifer Lopez, that guy that was in Moneyball with Brad Pitt. I forget his name, but there's a few of them. Adam Sandler and Bruce Willis. There's so many of them that are prima donnas to the point where you can't tell them, you can't work with them on set because they just think that ish. Like when they're there, it's got to be their way or the highway. And then there's other actors that I work with that are so cool. Like I said, Samuel Jackson's one of the coolest dudes you ever saw. As a Rock. Like what you see on TV and on his interviews, he's even more nice of a guy in person. Kevin Hart, even though he's annoying because he's short, he's still a cool dude. You know what I mean? Like, but then you learn within yourself that God gave you this ability to entertain people, make them laugh, make them cry, make them go, I can't stand you on screen. That's a gift. So you can't take advantage of that gift because as soon as he gave it to you, you can take it away. So you gotta maintain your humbleness all throughout your career. I always been that way in powerlifting and acting. But powerlifting is a little different because I always thought I could destroy everybody that I go up against. That was my mentality, you know. But I was still a nice guy about it. Like I will still be your friend after we compete against each other. Same way I am on set. Like we're doing a Netflix series right now, right? And it's called Clowns. And just before we broke, we took 2 days off. Everybody in the cast and crew came up to me and said, Diezel, you're one of the nicest guys. To be as big as you are, and so humble and so kind to everybody, it's a joy. I wish I had more actors that were just like you. That was from the producers of the series. You know what I mean? So it's the type of person that you protect to bring to others that makes a long-lasting impression, and it makes you stay that way. You don't want to change because you don't want to be that person like, oh, he thinks he's this, oh, he thinks he's that, even though we still got haters because of our success, but they can never say that this stuff has gotten to my head because I'm always going to be here. Never up here, but here. You know what I mean? That's the way I have to be.
And I tell people this all the time, never get so big in this industry that you forget who you are, lose sight of who you are.
Exactly.
Like, it's all about humbling yourself at the end of the day. And even my mom, she told me that. She said, never get so big in this industry that you never forget to put God first in everything that you do, and always treat people the way that you would want them to treat you. You're getting a support system now.
Right, exactly.
And I call them my fashion dolls. So, they are very, very loyal. They support 100% whatever decisions I decide to go through with. And it's just positive energy and love. So once you're surrounded by all of that, you can overcome so much.
You said you got fashion dolls? Yeah. You said you got fashion dolls as your followers?
That's what I call them,
well, you
my
gotta
fashion
call me
dolls.
okay, you can't call me a dog, but you call me a fashion thug. Like, you call me that. I'll be your first one.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. A fashion thug. All right.
Right?
Yeah, I call my followers that. I call my followers the fashion dolls. Like Beyonce, she has the Beehive. Rihanna has the Re-Navy. So I call them my fashion dolls.
All right, put me as one of your fans now, so we're good.
All right. You got it. So speaking of fan, your number one fan, your daughter, your beautiful daughter Brianna. What advice have you given her? Because I'm pretty sure she's probably going to want to follow in your footsteps and become an actress.
No, she doesn't. She stays away from this. This is her father's thing. She has nothing to do with this. She's proud of my sister. Wow. Don't get me wrong. She's a child psychologist. That's her path.
Oh.
Yeah, that's her thing. You know what I mean? She likes helping. What happened to her was when she was in high school, 2 of her friends committed suicide. So she went through that to the point where she felt as though they had nobody to talk to. So what she wanted to do was be that vessel for them to talk to when there's nobody else to talk to and help those kids. So that's my baby's path, my booger bear. Call her my booger bear. She's 20, but about to be 25. And I'm the only one that's allowed to call her that, even though she's this old. I can get away with that still. You know what I mean? Because she knows. You know what I mean? So it's not, I don't call her Brianna. That's my little booger bear. And don't let nobody ever call her that because she'll snap. She's like, who you calling? That's my dad. Don't ever say that to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm so proud of her. Like, what she's done and what she's accomplished in her life at 20, about to be 25, is actually astonishing. I hold her in more high regard than all my accomplishments put together. You know what I mean? Because she's one hell of a young girl, boy. I tell you, she's got her father's fire and his intensity, and she's soft like her mother. So, she's an awesome little one.
It's funny you mentioned psychology because we just the other day, just yesterday, we talked about. Know you heard what happened, which was so unfortunate.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Miss USA.
That was hard. That's horrible.
And Regina King's son as well too. I'm just going to give an announcement real quick on mental health. Please take care of yourself. If you know someone that is in crisis, call the crisis hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Please reach out and talk to someone. In the Black community, we don't talk about mental health enough. We sweep it up under the rug and we mask it with a smile like everything is okay. And it was Jennifer Lewis and also Taraji P. Henson that spoke out about mental health disorder and bipolar disorder as well too. We fake the funk. We pretend like everything is okay, everything is all glorious. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to say I'm not okay.
Right.
It's okay to reach out to someone and talk to someone. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, Diezel, and I'm so sorry that that happened to your daughter's friends. If she's watching, it's heartbreaking
To
for
be
any
honest,
parent.
when my daughter was 2 or 3, everything was like overwhelming to me, and I actually thought about it. But my baby's mother at the time, when we were together, she said, "That's not a legacy you want to leave for your daughter to remember you by." That snapped me right out of it. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? When you have a child, I understand people have that mentality where they feel lost and they have nobody to turn to. But it's different when you have a child. I couldn't fathom doing that to my baby girl. Her living the fact that she has to tell everybody, "Oh, your father committed suicide." Like, you know what I mean? That's something you can't let a child live with. You know, unfortunately, I know that there are those that did it, but for me, I know it's just a no. You know what I mean? And everything that I've been, because the reason I thought like that, because of the trauma that I went through when I was 8 till I was 10. There's still times I go to sleep and wake up in hot sweats just remembering what happened to me. You know what I mean? So I've learned how to talk about it, let it out, and release it to the point where it's not even a thought pattern anymore. But I still go through the sweats and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? But you have to realize that everything that you do in your life impacts others. You're just not yourself. It just doesn't include your own persona. There's people, friends, family, kids, all that around you that will live and suffer through the actions of whatever you do or choose to do with yourself. So for me, I just want to live a lasting legacy of the fact that I loved everybody, I helped everybody, I became a success, I stayed the same person, and that's the legacy I want to leave for my daughter. If I go, like, everybody loved your father. That would be one of the awesome things that she could always remember, that nobody will ever say anything bad about her dad. You know, so.
And to add on to that, Diesel, you're a black man, and I commend you as a black man for being that vessel and encouraging other black men, because we know sometimes it's not just black men, but for me as a black woman, sometimes for us as black women, we feel like we can bear the pain on our shoulders. But for black men in the black community, some of them, they feel as though, oh, I can't cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to look weak for my wife or my girlfriend. Listen, showing emotion makes you human. And that's what people have to realize. At the end of the day, we all have emotions. Somebody has lost someone that has been close to their heart. You've lost a mom, you've lost a dad, you've lost a sister, a brother, and it's hard. I understand that. But like Diezel just said, and I always say it as well too, my mom, she told me this because me and my mom have conversations. She said, talk. Don't be afraid to ever think that you're too big to come and talk to me. Because me, I've always been the type to try to navigate, and my brother's the same way. Him being a Cancer, he tries to navigate and do things on his own. So he's a little bullheaded every now and again. Me, I'm a Scorpio, so you know Scorpios, we're independent. We try to do it on our own, and I guess I get that spirit from
But
my
Scorpios
father.
is tough. Like, you're tough. Like, that's
Yeah,
no joke. Right? I got to give you that. Your Scorpios ain't nothing to play with. You know what I mean? It's real. You bite, you come at you to go bite back real hard, but back up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
and my mom's a Libra. My mom's a Libra. So she's always told me to be the type to, whatever it is that's bothering you, you come and you talk to me about it. You talk to your grandmother, because I'm also close to my grandmother as well too. And I'm thankful to have all of my family members, my father, my mom, and my dad, and my dad, I guess he just kind of used that firm hands to kind of get me to stand up for what is right and to not let people take advantage of me. And I also get that nurturing spirit from my mom. So we inherit some sort of trait from our parents,
Oh, yeah, we
it's that
do.
cycle.
That's definite.
Yeah.
I inherited the trait of survival because my mother, she's doing really good now. She owns property and owns houses. She's one of them. Like, you can't tell her nothing no more now. You know what I mean? But she went through her little drug addiction and made herself better and changed her whole persona, changed her whole life around. You know what I mean? So I followed that same path that she did, only on my way. Different paths, the same structure pretty much. You know what I mean? So, like I say, I'm tough like my mother, a little bit tougher, Although she's only 4'11", I'm still scared to death of her. You know what I mean? I don't approach my mom sideways. You know how most people be like, I'm gonna say this to my mom. My mom ain't raised no fool, I know that. But you know what I mean? So she'll take that wooden Italian spoon out real quick. But yeah, it's just like I said, you're absolutely right with what you say. How we the traits of our parents, grandparents, parents before them, we inherit in some shape or form, you know? And it just makes us, it just combines us with all that, makes us either as connected to them and branches us out to something a little bit more better.
Absolutely, 100%. And once they, leave their legacy, pass on and be like, okay, I'm passing the torch to you. It's just like, it's scary. Like, wow, did my mom just tell me this a few days back? Or did my mom used to tell me this? Or did my father used to tell me this? You think about those things. So there's nothing wrong with self-reflection in the
No,
process.
not at all. Not one little bit. And I said, like I said
So,
earlier, you just gained another fan, another #1 fan. Because you're very, very, I'm honored to be on this. I love doing interviews, but certain ones you like feel honored to be a part of, and I really do feel honored to be a part of this. So I couldn't thank you enough again.
and I'm honored to have you here. I'm honored to have you here. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I love your energy. I'm all about good energy. And speaking of energy, with you being a 6-time champ for powerlifting, what's some of the best advice that you would give out here using that athlete mindset for people who just feel like giving up? What advice would you give to them?
Okay, well, I would say it's different sports, but it takes hard work and dedication to the point where, just to be honest, I'm be transparent. Like when you powerlifting, when I powerlifted that's why I think me and my baby's mother didn't stay together for so long, because after a little while, she was going to get tired of us sooner or later. What happens is when you're on this type of level, when you're on that type of, you can only have sex maybe for 2 weeks out of a year. So it's either you win a national championship, then your trainer's like, hey, do whatever you want for 2 weeks. He clocks it, and then he tells you another 2, stop. You got to start training for the world championships. And that's how I went, all the way from 2008. You know what I mean? So I guess because of the lack of that, and she wasn't, she was more understanding to the point where she knew, but only for, I don't know, since 96 all the way to 2008, somebody's going to get tired of that sooner or later. You know what I mean? But it takes hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. If you're going to do it, give it 100%. If you're going to go halfway and you think you're not all the way ready for it, don't dedicate yourself, because that's only going to hurt. You're only going to get hurt. That's it. You know what I mean? But if you got dedication and you have the fortitude to deal with the pain, the suffering that you're going to go through, you're putting your body through, then I would say give it a shot. You know what I mean? But you have to have that dedication. You have to, because it's what's going to determine you becoming a champion or not. That dedication, 100%. If you don't have that, what's the sense in trying? You know what I mean? You have to have that in you. That's inside of you. You know what I mean? Some people say, oh, I want to be a champion powerlifter, and then next thing you know, when they go through the training, they say, oh, I can't do this. See what I mean? Because the training is so intense. There was times where I had to push a truck from behind in neutral. Myself, I have a video of it. I'm going to send it to you. I pushed a rig at 290 pounds up a hill to go down a hill. That's how hard my training is. No joke. I could leg press 4,500 pounds.
I believe it. I believe it.
Trust me, when people see the video of me doing it, they're like, holy. You know what I mean? It's not believable till you see it. Thank God I got it on video. You know what I mean? So, but if this takes the hard work and dedication. Most people, that's what and discipline. If you don't have all those, don't do it, because you're gonna hurt yourself. Because this training is intense. I have 2 shoulder surgeries, one here and one here. This shoulder surgery that I had here, the doctor told me I was gonna be out for a year and a half. 7 months later, I was benching 500 pounds. You're not gonna tell me to stay out the gym. Sorry, not gonna happen. So that's how dedicated I am. Risking to hurt myself again to get myself back in shape to compete again. So there you go. You know.
And I love the fact that you say you can't give up, because some people are so quick to give up,
Oh yeah,
especially on if it's something that they're passionate about.
yeah.
You know, continue to keep going, keep persevering. There have been times when I'm just like, okay, enough is enough of me. It's okay to take breaks, but don't give up on
Oh
whatever it
no,
is
no,
that your
no.
heart
You're right.
desires. Keep
Well,
going.
I was competing once, and this same shoulder dislocated, popped out, and I still benched and I won. Talk about dedication. I got a news article with that in it. They said, with a messed up shoulder, I still won. I didn't I went through the pain. I still benched. I think I benched, I was like 475, 480 at that time. But yeah, I still did it with a messed up shoulder. See, I don't let anything stand in my way. It's just nothing, you know. There's just no excuses. I suffer from spinal stenosis, spinal degenerative disease. I have epilepsy. I have brain damage from the seizures. I'm legally blind in my right eye, right? And I have diabetes. But you can't tell if you look at my size. If you look at my size and you look at me, you will never know. You know what I mean? How how hurt I really am. Ugh, how hurt I really am because I train extremely hard. You know what I mean? And there's no such thing as an excuse. None. You can give any kind of excuse. You can do anything you want to do. I know a 72-year-old man that can bench press 315 pounds. I know a dude that doesn't have no legs can bench press 500. I don't deal with excuses because that's exactly what they are. Excuses.
And Madam C.J. Walker is Black History Month, so I had to include Madam C.J. Walker. She has a quote that goes about making excuses. Stop making excuses and get up
Right.
and do it. So I had to quote Madam C.J. Walker on that one, because that is so true, especially for us as Black people. Just like, stop procrastinating, putting off today what you can do tomorrow. My mom, she told me that when it came to building up Style by Stevie, this platform here, everything that you wanted to do, make sure you go about it the right way. If it's something that you really want to do all the way, go about it and make sure you find the foundation
Right.
and a solution.
Let nothing stand in your way. Nothing. Nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you're only hindering your own progress. You're your own worst enemy. The only person stopping you from becoming successful is yourself. Nobody else. No one else.
100%. All right, fashion dolls, it is about that time. We are about to get into our two games with Diezel. We're about to have some fun. All right, so the first one is called the Rapid Five, and Diezel has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without. And the next one, we're going to get a little spicy.
Okay. Fine.
All
Yeah.
right. So Diezel is going to get to interview me in a segment I like to call Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions
Okay.
uncensored and unfiltered.
All right.
So you got it, you guys? All right. We're going to start with the rapid five.
Okay.
All right. 5 things you can't live without.
My daughter, the gym, right? My mentor, my manager, and don't get mad when I say my earrings and my jewelry. No.
All right. That's 5, ladies and gentlemen. You got it here. All right. It is time to turn those tables. It is about to get very spicy. Diezel is going to ask me some questions now in this segment I like to call Turn the Tables. So my guests get to know me. For the new viewers that are viewing the show, you get to know a little bit about me and what I like, what I don't like, things like that. So go ahead, Diezel.
Okay. You hit me. What is the one trait of a man that you find extremely sexy?
His intelligence. Yeah, I could go for most women. I could go for muscles. I love that. I love that. But I'm attracted to his intelligence.
Okay.
His intelligence.
Okay. All right. You give me your top 5 things that you can't do without.
My top 5 things I can't live without.
Yes.
I would have to say God, my mom. I love pepperoni pizza. Number 4, I would have to say my phone, because I'm always planning putting things down. If I'm not able to write it in my agenda book, I would have to say my phone would be number 4. And
Okay.
number five, a good book, because I love to read in my downtime.
Nice.
I love to read.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, God forgive me for not mentioning you. Don't get on. I forgot. Like, please don't get on me. I sometimes lose you in translation, but don't please. I forgot you. Yeah, you're number 1. I'm sorry. All right, but yeah. So okay, something else. Let me see. We already know your favorite food is pizza. That's number 1. What is it that you like to do on your downtime that nobody knows?
Well, I'm always in my room practicing. I went to beauty school and they let us keep our mannequins and stuff that we purchase in our toolkit. So I'm always practicing on my mannequin and doing little things like that. And another thing is I'm a neat freak. That's another thing. I love organizing. It seems kind of weird, but I guess I picked that up from my mom because my mom is always decorating something around the house. Like, okay, can these curtains go right here? It's like she channels her inner Martha Stewart, and I think it's rubbed off on me to the point where I want to decorate and put things in order. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. I guess your guests want to know if you're dating anyone.
No, actually, I'm single. I'm single and claiming it. I'm not attached to
She's
anyone.
claiming. She's claiming it too hard. She's like, I'm claiming that. I know some people like to hear that now. They're like, oh, she's single. Okay, that's what's up. But you got to remember, whoever's watching, she likes big dudes, don't? And intelligent dudes. You got to be. You can start to be big, but you got to be intelligent too, because you have to be able to hold a conversation with the queen. So you know what that means, right? Just not anyone.
And for me, it's not about it. He doesn't have to necessarily have muscles. I mean, as long as you take good care of yourself, that's all that matters to me. It's about what's in the heart and the mind. Most women go for the bank account, or if you got muscles, if you don't got muscles, if he's got this, if he's got that. Me,
Yeah.
I'm one of those
Right.
girls. If you have
The same thing
love,
in Hollywood. You got a car, how much jewelry you own, what kind of house you have, what's your bank account, you know what I mean? So yeah, then we don't have to ask me for my bank account because my freaking, you know how Google is. They put your whole financial status on. Once you get to a certain level, my financial status is on Google right now. I don't know how that got there, but it's on there, and I can't even take it off. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's the other
yeah,
thing I got to worry about. Girls want to be with me for what I have. That's why I've been single for a long time, because you just don't know. Like, if they don't, been single for 10 years. So they don't know if they want you for your money, the status that you have, or to leapfrog over you with your name. So I rather not, I haven't had a chance to, you know what I mean, not deal with that. So I've been single for a very long time. It is what it is, you know. It's not like I never, this is the first thing I tell people all the time, not like I never had sex, not like I don't have a child. You know what I mean? I have a child. So I had to have that. I had to have sex, right? So it's not like something that I'm missing. You know what I mean? I wish I had it, but you know what I mean? At the same time, it's not missed. You know, it's a difference.
right. And these things will all fall in line for anybody out there who's watching this, who's looking for love. February, yes, it's Black History Month, and then boom, before you know it, Valentine's Day. There's nothing wrong with being single and just enjoying that time to yourself, reflecting.
Exactly.
Some
No, there's
people
nothing wrong with it.
enjoy
No.
that
Sometimes it
time
helps
with
your progress in life. Because you know what? Because there's no
absolutely.
distractions. In a relationship, you're always going to have a distraction. When you're not at one day, it's no distractions. You know what I mean? So you have a straight path to success every single chance, you know? Don't get me wrong, I wish I had a girl, but I just don't at the time. It's, like I said, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm fine with it either way.
Right. And it's gonna happen. My mom always tells me this. It was gonna happen on God's time. And I said, why can't I find a good man? And I pray, but it'll all come on God's timing. I would love to have a family and stuff like that. But right now my
First
focus,
of
my
all,
baby,
you're
yeah.
young, you enjoy your life, get yourself established to how you want to be, positioned. Then when you're ready, the time it'll come. Because I know you got dudes jumping over bridges to try to get with you, so we ain't You ain't lacking there, madam. So don't try that. All right. It's just when you're ready and you find the right one, yeah, you're gonna be straight. You know what I mean? Because you're right now, because you're already seeing so ahead of your time, age-wise. You're so mature, so already you're focused. And once you get to a certain level and you're steady and you're stable, yeah, you're gonna be good. You know what I mean? Can't nobody tell you nothing. Nobody can tell you nothing now. Imagine a couple more years. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? For real.
And it'll all fall in line. Like me, I like to, when the stars align, when something happens on God's time, it's gonna happen. So
Yes,
it's no rush
yes,
for me.
definitely, definitely, most definitely. And it's happening for you right now. Slowly but surely, you're gonna be right there, and you're gonna be like, we'll have another conversation later on. You're gonna be like, "What's good, D? You know, this blah blah blah." And I'm doing this, and I'll say to you, I'm not surprised, not even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For real. So that's exactly how that conversation is gonna go, because you see so much potential. Like you're gonna be so, you're already heading there now. Wait a couple more years is a wrap. Seriously. You know what I mean? You can just tell by people's energy how far they're going to progress. And you're just one of those people that seem like you have this path that you're straight on right now and nothing's stopping you. So that's awesome to see.
Yes, and that's how I'm gonna keep it, stay focused and motivated. And that's something that I put on my vision board too, that I was gonna continue to wrap my head up and educate myself on certain things, stay focused on what I need to do, and whatever falls in line. It's just like chapter by chapter, as you turn the page each day, it'll happen. So yeah.
Yeah, we gotta be the hero of our own. We gotta be the hero of our own book because we're the only ones writing it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is, so we gotta write it. You know, so that chapter has to be a happy ending. At the end of that, at the end of all of it, everything you've been through in your life, to that and last chapter before you sign off, has to be a happy ending.
That's right. All right, Fashion Dolls, this was such an amazing conversation with the one and only Mr. Diezel Ramos. Diezel, is there anything you would like to tell to your supporters that are
Well, I
viewing
just want
this and
to give a
thinking,
shout out to my manager, Felicita Cosme, for thank you for 7 years ago agreeing to be my manager. I've been a huge success ever since. My business partner, Jessica Gillison, I just acquired her to be a business partner in my production company. My booger bear, of course. And everybody that I miss, all my friends, my family, my fans, I love you guys all. You're going to see me. You're going to see a lot of movies and TV series with me this year and next year and the year after that. So further down the line, whatever else I get cast into. But I thank you guys for all the support, because if it wasn't for you guys, I won't be in the position that I am now. And I could not be grateful. I'll always be grateful and humble and love you guys for the rest of my days. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of you. God's brought so many good people in my life, and I have to thank all of you guys as well. So
100%. Let everyone know where they can follow you and if you have something coming up pretty soon.
well, I have they can follow me on Facebook, Diezel Ramos. I'm the only Diezel Ramos on Facebook. They can follow me on Instagram, Luke_Cage_77. That's the movie that I'm about to be in and start filming in May, early June. They can find me in Twitter, same thing, Luke Cage_77. And I have 7 movies coming out this year, 2 westerns, 2 action films, 1 horror film. I just got cast for another horror film. And I got cast to go to Italy to be in my first foreign film, which I leave the beginning of the fall. So I go to Italy for 2 weeks. I play a Hispanic drug lord in Italy that goes up against an Italian drug lord. So it's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, then called Laundromat, and I got one called Paper Rise to the Top. It's going to be on Amazon Prime TV. I play the mob boss's right-hand man. His name is Benny Blaze. What else? I have so much going on. It's hard to keep track of my head. But yeah, it's good. Put it this way, you're going to see a whole lot of me the next 2 and 3 years coming up.
All right. Y'all heard it here first, my loves. Fashion Dolls, y'all have heard it here first. Make sure you guys are following Diezel. This man is going places. He is building his own pathway and carving his own path, which is something that we support here on the show. And I would love...
Let's show some love to the queen, the fashion queen, ladies and gentlemen. For real. For having me on here, and all you guys that came Support her. We keep supporting her. She's an amazing, amazing individual. She's going to be such a huge success. If not, she is already. All right. She's such a blessing to all of us to even have a platform to give us interviews. So I cannot be more grateful for her. I thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. And I would love to speak with you again in the future. It's such an
Yes.
amazing time.
Yo, definitely. That door's open for you all the time. You get that. You get that golden key to the door. Anytime you want me, got me. I'm here for you.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Diezel Ramos. Make sure you guys follow him. Tomorrow we have actress Michelle Shea. She's gonna be with me, so make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Take care, everyone, and this will
Peace, everybody.
love you.